what I want to do now, just as a closing, is go through some of the things that Imam al-Ghazali in his Ihya radiallahu anhu mentions about fasting. Kitab Asrar al-Siyam is the book, which is the book of the secrets of fasting. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So he says that one of the greatest blessings that Allah has given us is, and that He has given to protect us from the plots of shaitan and the artistry, the clever machinations of shaitan, and to destroy shaitan's hope and really make him despair, is He made fasting a fortress for His awliya and a junnah, a shield to protect himself from shaitan. As-siyamu junnah. Fasting is a shield, right? You hide behind it. And he said that he also has explained to us in many verses in the Quran and Hadith that the means by which shaitan takes control of the heart is hidden shahawat. The human being is destroyed by two things, shahawat and shubuhat. Shahawat are sensory, they relate to pleasure, excessive pleasure, the stomach, the genitals, all of the things that go with shahawat. And shubuhat relate to the heart, how somebody understands things. So shaitan works on shubuhat first. Right? It's actually better for him to have somebody who's a Christian, a Trinitarian, or something like that. Because then he doesn't care. They can do all they want. But if he can't get to you, if you have been given mana'a, like a protection, immunity from the shubuhat, and that's done by following the rightly guided imam, by having your creed correct. So you follow the aqidah of the Muslims. And anything that has shubha in it, you flee from it. And the second, by making your ibadah in accordance with the sunnah, so you don't allow bid'ah to come into your ibadah. With those things, you're protected from shubuhat, and actually shubuhat are easier to protect oneself. If he sees that he can't get you from there, if you're protected, then he'll come with shahawat and try to destroy you through shahawat. And then the next thing that he mentions is the hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ, it's a Hasan hadith from Abu Hurairah, in which the Prophet ﷺ said, "As-sawmu nisfu as-sabr." Fasting is half of patience. In other words, it's half of how you learn and acquire patience. By being able to fast and be patient about food, which is the primary urge, and sex, which is the secondary urge. If somebody can control those two aspects of himself, then he can be patient about other things. If he can't control those, everything else will be out of control. But then he mentions the other hadith which says that as-sabru nisfu al-iman, and he derives from that that therefore fasting is half of iman, because 1/4 of iman. Thank you. These engineers are useful. That if iman is half of, sabr is half of iman, and fasting is half of sabr, then it's 1/4 of your iman if you fast. And then he also said, which is very important, that the Messenger of Allah said, كُلُّ حَسَنَةٍ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا إِلَى 700 ضَعْفٍ إِلَّا الصِّيَامِ. This is a hadith Qudsi. Every good action is 10 multiplied by 10 to 700, except for fasting. Except for fasting. إِلَّا الصِّيَامُ فَإِنَّهُ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. Except for fasting, fasting is my own, and I reward it. Now, some of the ulama actually said that the meaning, as-siyamu li, fasting is mine. In other words, Allah is the only thing in creation, in reality, that is absolutely independent and needs nothing. Everything else in creation needs something. And so fasting is, of all the acts of ibadah we do, it is the most godlike. It is the most godlike, because Allah does not eat or drink, or any of the actions that go. So fasting is allowed, and He rewards it. And this is again taking on this, the تَخَلَّقُوا بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ, take on the qualities that Allah has described Himself with, of Al-Kareem, Al-Sabur, right, all these, Ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman. And then, again, the ayah in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah tells us in the Quran that the patient people, He gives them reward without any reckoning. So again, fasting and patience are deeply related. And another thing about fasting, as-siyamu is it's half of patience. وَالصَّبْرُ مُفْتَحَ الظَّفَرِ or مُفْتَحَ الْفَرَجِ. And patience is the key to openings from Allah. And this is why the greatest victory of the Muslims was in Ramadan, which is al-Badr. And it was in Ramadan. And also the fath that Allah gave the Messenger of Allah was in Ramadan. So there's great and many great victories in Ramadan, in the history of Islam. Many, many great victories. And then he said it is enough to know the blessing of the fast that Allah swears, that the Messenger of Allah swore, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ لَخَلِيفُ فَمَّ الصَّائِمِ أَطْيَبُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ رِيحِ الْمِسْكِ. The foul smell of a faster, coming from the mouth of the faster, is more pure with Allah than the scent of musk. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّمَا يَمَنُ شَهْوَتِهِ وَطَعَامُهُ وَشَرَابُهُ لِأَجْلِي. He has given up his drink, his food, his drink, and his shahwa, his desire, لِأَجْلِي, for Allah's sake. إِنَّ الصِّيَامَ لِي وَأَنَا أَجْزِي بِهِ. So fasting is mine, and I will give it. And then the صائم فرحتان, فرحة عند إفطاره وفرحة عند لقاء ربه. And then he said, the hadith, which has some weakness in it, but it says, لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَابٍ, and we went through the abwab al-ilm when we covered that section on there. لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ بَابٍ وَبَابَ الْعِبَادَةِ وَالصَّوْمِ. Everything has a door, and the door of worship is fasting. And this is another hadith indicate that is that the one who prevents us from worship more than anybody is shaitan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Messenger of Allah said, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَيَجْرِي فِي ابْنِ آدَمَ مَجَارِيَ الدَّمِ. That shaitan flows in man with the blood, the flowing of the blood, which is a proof that, for me, is a proof that long before Thomas Harvey ever came up with circulation of blood, that the Messenger of Allah knew about circulation of blood, because majra is a place where something flows. And he said, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَيَجْرِي فِي ابْنِ آدَمَ مَجَارِيَ الدَّمِ. He flows in man in the places the blood flows. So, shaitan gets in through the blood, and that's why alcohol and haram food is an easy inroad for shaitan into the heart. And the more pure your food is, the purer you become, guarding your food from shubuhat. So when you fast, because you don't have food in you, you're actually making, there's an addition to that hadith, which is mudraj, probably from later, not from the Sahaba. فَضَيِّقُوا عَلَى مَجَارِيَ الشَّيْطَانِ. Constrict the ways that shaitan can flow in you, بِالْجُوع, by hunger. And then another thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Messenger of Allah, it's a weak hadith, no mufsa'in ibadah. The sleep of the faster is worship. Because if he's fasting, he's in worship. So it's true, even if the hadith is not strong, the meaning is true, in that if you're fasting, you're worshiping, and sleeping while you're fasting is mubah. So even a sleeper is in ibadah when he's fasting. So that's something that no other ibadah has. And also إذا دخلوا شهر رمضان فتحت أبواب الجنة وغلقت أبواب النار وصفدت الشياطين ونادى مناد يا باغي الخير هلما يا باغي الشر اقصر. That when Ramadan comes, the gates of paradise are open, the doors of Jahannam are closed, and the shayateen are locked up. And then a caller calls from the angelic realm, "O seeker of good, come for this month. And O seeker of evil, stop. Don't desist from your evil." Waki', who is the teacher of Imam Shafi'i radiallahu anhu, said about Allah's word, كُلُوا وَشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. The Ayyam al-Khaliyah, the past days, are Ayyam al-Siyam. So Allah says in paradise, eat and drink because of what you were doing in those previous days in the world when you were fasting. Now, eat and drink, enjoy yourself. So you're giving up here, and obviously, for a person, if you're told, in fact that was the test they used for emotional intelligence, was to give children, tell them they could have, 2 cookies later or 1 now. And always they found the intelligent children would say 2 later. So a sign of aql is putting off a short-term pleasure for a greater long-term pleasure. That is a sign of intellect. And so that's why Allah says that these people that do this are ulul albab. They're the people of intellect that recognize putting off dunya pleasure for the sake of Allah is intelligence. And then another thing which is really important, which he says is because this is such, you are really defeating the enemy of Allah, which is shaitan, by taking control of all the things that shaitan uses to fight you and to fight Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's his irada for human beings, his will for human beings, which is to believe in him and follow him. And that's why he mentions that Allah says, إِن تَنْصُرُ اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ وَيُثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَكُم. If you give victory to Allah through fasting and conquering shaitan, Allah will give victory to you and make you firm. And that's one of the things you want. Sabr is part of sabat, right? Sabr. So we're learning that. And then he said, and by doing that also Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Allah is with the muhsinin. And then he also mentioned that إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. التغيير, he said, is تكثير الشهوات. That's one of the interpretations of that ayah. That Allah will not change the people by taking away their blessings until they become preoccupied with their shahawat. So they fall into, like this society is, it's the best example of a pleasure culture. Everything is geared towards pleasure. There's no, people here, the idea of fasting is so alien to them now because they eat all day long. And that's not something even not that long ago people did not eat. You didn't snack all day long. There weren't snack machines everywhere. This is all the grazing culture, right? And An'am, the cattle people. Right? Seriously, it's like cows that just graze out, and this is life, grazing. No. Yeah, the shayateen, it's only because there's one hadith that says maradatul jinn, the bad jinn. So it's not the shayateen al-ins. And also some of the ulama, like Imam al-Qadisi al-Fasi, who is a Maliki scholar, he was asked why is it that people still get bad thoughts in Ramadan. And his explanation was that he said the hadith indicate only the kafir jinn are locked up. The fusaq from the believing jinn are not locked up. But Allah knows best, because there's no hadith. He doesn't have textual basis for that. And he admitted that at the end. He said that would seem a high probability there. And Allah knows best. But also you have enough that's there. I think it would be interesting to do, this is when you have a khilafah and you're controlling the world and there's no wars, and you can actually occupy Muslims doing intelligent statistical studies. It would be interesting to see studies done about crime rates and things like that if they do go down in Ramadan. I think that would be kind of an interesting thing to do. So there's somebody who has a PhD thesis there. Convince a university to give you funding for that, huh? Now, couple of things here. Imam al-Ghazali, radiallahu anhu, mentions, he goes into the fiqh issues, and we covered that last night, about the fiqh of fasting. There's two fiqhs of fasting. There's the fiqh al-zahir or fiqh al-batin. There's the outward fiqh, which is the concern of the fuqaha, and then there's the inward fiqh, which is the concern of the qawm or the sufiya. And the outward fiqh is to make sure that your outward fasting is acceptable, maqbool. The inward fiqh is to make sure that your inward fasting is acceptable. And there is a hadith that indicates this very clearly, in which the Prophet ﷺ said that many people who fast, right, كَمْ مِنْ صَائِمٍ لَيْسَ لَهُ مِنْ صَوْمِهِ إِلَّا الْجُوعُ وَالْعَطَشِ. How many fasters gain nothing from their fast except hunger and thirst? So it means, in other words, outwardly the fast is correct, but inwardly they're breaking their fast constantly. Because if you're backbiting, if you're doing all these things. Now, just a few things about that. He says there are three types of fasters. Sawm al-umum, the general fasting. Sawm al-khusus, and then the elect fasting. Wa sawm al-khusus al-khusus, and then the fasting of the elect. He says that the fasting of the common people is basically leaving the kaff al-batan wal-farj an qada' al-shahwa. It's just preventing the stomach and the genitals from gaining pleasure during the daylight hours. That's the fasting that any Muslim is capable of doing. He said the fasting of the elect is the fasting كفع السمع والبصر واللسان واليد والرجل. Because remember, Ibn Ashar radiallahu anhu talks about the seven, right? You have to protect the seven jawarih, right? We're responsible for them. You have to protect the eyes. إن السمع والبصر والفؤاد كل أولئك كان عنه مسؤولا. You have to protect the ears. You have to protect the tongue. You have to protect the hands, the stomach, the genitals, and the feet. So two of them are covered in the outward fasting. So a person who's fasting and they're not eating or having sexual relations or any type of sexual behavior, whether it's masturbation, any type of that person has taken hold of two of those seven, and those are called the madakhil al-shaytan, thuhur al-shaytan. Those are the entrances of shaytan. Some of the ulama, Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah, mentioned that the body of the human being is like a country, and the capital is the heart, and the borders, the boundaries, are the seven limbs, and you have to guard the seven limbs with vigilance, and the heart is the one that sends out the commands to guard the limbs, sends out the armies to guard them. So shaitan comes in to the heart through one of those seven things. So the point of the fasting is to protect the boundaries during Ramadan and guard them so that the heart has a chance to draw near to Allah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. It's in order to learn taqwa. And taqwa is محل التقوى ها هنا وأشار إلى قلبه. The place of taqwa is here in the heart. The Prophet ﷺ said, التقوى ها هنا وأشار إلى قلبه 3 مرات. So taqwa is in the heart. So you're trying to learn taqwa, and the taqwa is the heart. So what you're doing is you're protecting the heart by stopping, by protecting the inroads into the heart of shaitan. And Allah has helped you by locking up the shayateen. So He's put constraints on the shayateen. So Allah is giving us a great assistance in this month. And then He's helped us by making it a farm to not eat. In other words, the two sources of all the troubles, the most basic ones, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us. But then He left us, it's up to us, because it can't all be, right? There has to be some mujahada. Allah left it up to us to guard the eyes, the tongue, the ears, the hands, and the feet. And that's the fasting of the elect. So they're fasting from all 7 limbs. Right? So you're guarding your tongue, you're guarding your eyes, you're guarding your hands, you're guarding your feet. That's what you have to do during Ramadan. Don't look at the haram. Don't speak the haram, and don't listen to the haram. Allahumma sa'im. Somebody starts to backbite, Allahumma sa'im. You have to protect yourself. Don't ruin my fast. The dua of the Prophet about Ramadan, Allahumma sallimna Ramadan wa sallim Ramadan minna. Oh Allah, give us Ramadan and protect Ramadan from our evil. You don't want Ramadan to get a portion of your evil. You want to get a portion of Ramadan's good. And you don't want to give Ramadan anything bad. And this is why it has what's known as hurma zamaniyah. It has the sanctity of time. And that's why long action in Ramadan is greater than long action other times. Because Allah has given this month a hurma, a sanctity. And you have to guard the sanctity of the month. And you guard it by not doing what Allah tells you. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the things that Allah said to the human being is that